Hi everyone, I'm Ali GREYMOND. Today I'm doing a Q&A. This is from the questions that you've asked me in yesterday's video. First question. Hi Ali, you're amazing and have helped me so much. Thank you so much for your kind words. I have had OCD for a couple of years, but the last 7 to 8 months have had nothing. Not even the thought about it, not for a second, not any thoughts. I finally got married in October, which was so amazing. I have just got a new job and the flu that's going around. I have had a couple of the same thoughts coming back in randomly and now slightly getting worse because I'm responding. I'm worried about what if I go back to how bad I was before and so on. Is this normal to have a setback after so long of being free of this ridiculous, scary thoughts? Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you so much for a kind word. So, this is a very simple situation. So, what happened? You started to do the work, you felt better, but within the first few months of feeling better, a lot of stress unloaded on you in your life. So, there was a lot of changes, a lot of stuff going on, and all of that created extra stress. Because the ice was so thin with OCD still, because you were just freshly coming out of it, and the pressure got to be too much, the thoughts started to come back, and then you reacted. Basically, you got better, but you didn't cement your recovery. And then probably you reacted to some stuff in real life, just overthinking, overreacting, and then it went back to OCD. This is common. It's just really kind of in your case situational. If there was a longer time period between when you felt better and when all of the stress happened, this wouldn't have happened. But since it happened the way it did, it is how it is now. But in order for you to get back on track, you got to be really vigilant right now with disregarding, not giving it energy, get back to the tracking rumination, right? And when you're tracking rumination, your goal needs to be zero. That in 3 hours, I'm going to ruminate 0 minutes. So, because even giving it a little bit right now, you're not in a position where you're ruminating 180 out of 180, right? 3 hours out of 3 hours. You're just ruminating a little bit. So, what you want to do is you want to scale that back. To zero. So if let's say it's like 5-10 minutes per 3 hours, we don't need that, because if you start to go down the road of like I can ruminate a little, that's not good, and you're not in a place where you can't stop yourself from ruminating. It's more that you just have to be accountable and bring this back. Also, in terms of stress, if there's anything else coming up in your life right now, if you can kind of stretch it out a little bit so it's not all at once, if it's things that you can control, so you just give yourself a little bit of room right now to exhale from all of these things that have been kind of stressing you out in the last little while. And they're not bad things. You got married, you got a new job, it's all good, but it just adds an extra layer of stress. So what we want to do is kind of scale down on new things and take the time to really focus and get better. Based on the way the situation is now, I think that if you really pick it up, if you really focus on it now, it will be under a month for you to get back on track. But you really do have to focus, and because the rumination is so small right now, you really got to make sure that you are disregarding and tracking, because it's hard to catch that 5 minutes if you're not tracking. But if you have it that every 3 hours, it's my goal, do it. You can, again, do it through the app, do it on a piece of paper, do it on your hand, but don't do it just in your mind. You have to have this physical representation of how your day went. Also, in terms of OCD, about OCD, I don't want you to get into the conversations of, well, what if I don't recover? What if I don't get better? This person online said I can't recover, right? Because that can really start a whole new theme. So don't research your OCD. Don't do anything like that. Just live your life as if you're OCD free. And when the thoughts come in, disregard. And then when you do end up paying attention, be accountable for the minutes that you paid attention, and try to, again, scale back to zero. Thank you so much for the question, and thank you for your kind words. Next question. Dear Ali, thank you so much for your videos. You are very, very welcome. They helped me to survive in the most difficult period of my life. I really need your help now. I think I have a cheating OCD combined with false memory OCD. In the past 4 months, I had several situations when I thought that I kissed somebody or slept with somebody, And then when I called and asked people and tried to solve the situation, it turned out that nothing happened and it was just in my imagination, but it felt real at the moment. Now I see the past situations as OCD and don't believe it happened. This is like literally classic false memory OCD. I always thought that when I solve one situation, a new one wouldn't appear. Yep. That's how every person with false memory OCD thinks. And I will feel good again, but even if I imagine to solve it, another even scarier and more difficult to solve one appears. But a couple of weeks ago, I went to a 4-day student conference where there were 50 people and they all stayed together in a hostel and had parties every day. I didn't drink alcohol, I only had cola, but I had a feeling once that someone might put alcohol in my cup, though I'm not sure. Okay, so I'm not gonna read the whole story because I don't want people to get triggered who have similar OCD. But I have read it, and I'm telling you, this is 100% OCD. So the story ends like this. Please help. I'm tired of living in this hell where I cannot understand whether something happened or not. The feeling of guilt doesn't let me have a good day with my boyfriend and even study because I'm constantly thinking that I might have cheated, which I think is the most horrible thing to do. I'm afraid to disregard because it feels real, and what if it turns to be real one day? This is literally how false memory OCD goes. You have to be disregarding. So this thought comes in, you are tracking how much time you are spending ruminating, and you're constantly reducing that rumination time. That is the GREYMOND method. I'm telling you, it works. But the tracking you must do. So you can do it through the app. You can do it again on a piece of paper, however, but the numbers have to go down because every time, the more you ruminate, the more this situation will worsen. So you can't continue to ruminate as much as you're ruminating. Also, checking with other people would count as rumination as well. Searching online would count as rumination as well. So it sounds like overall, based on everything you're saying, you're ruminating a lot, which is the reason why it's so powered up and the reason why it feels so real. As you are refusing to ruminate, not instantly, but as you refuse, you will start to see that the realness will start to go down. It won't feel as real anymore, and you'll be able to kind of see through the fog. But what you said earlier, right? That when you solve one or when one leaves, right? Because you're disregarding this one, it's going to leave, but your mind is going to try to replace it with another one. So next time, it's really important for you to catch it even earlier and give it even less attention. So no matter what thought, what situation comes in, even what OCD theme you have, right? What if it switches from false memory to, I don't know, some fear of the future, right? Um, it's how much you're ruminating. That's the culprit of this whole problem. The more you ruminate, the more energy you're giving to it, the worse it's going to get. So you have to reduce the rumination and you have to be accountable reducing it every single day. This is what we do with clients. If you would like to do a session with me and we can talk more about it, obviously we can do so. That's through youhaveocd.com. So, but the rumination numbers must go down. Otherwise, it's going to be what you're saying, right? That it's one situation that gets replaced with another when you get enough reassurance, and that's not a way to go. We gotta get you to full recovery. I hope this helps. I will be back with another Q&A in the next few days. I will probably post a video for the next Q&A today just so you guys can leave more questions underneath the video. And we go from there. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. If you would like to do one-on-one recovery program with me, all the information is on youhaveocd.com. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.